Mr. Leshy. We are live, my friend. I do got to change the title because that is one thing I forgot. Right. I think we are getting ready to start in draft here. You good over there, my friend?
Guilty if you want to lead that way, like we just know when we're live.
We are live, sir.
Oh, lit. What's up, y'all?
I am.
Let me reopen this draft.
Yep, I sent it to you in Discord.
Yeah. I had it open earlier, but then I lost it.
Good, all good. I'm just a touch behind, but I will be catching up here momentarily.
If they say the draft on the stream, then I'll just start talking about it, though.
Yeah, the draft is up in the stream.
Perfect. All right. So if we're looking at this draft, just like always, just kind of banning out the counter picks and fearless. This is pretty standard since you can trade OP picks and eventually, you'll just kind of get on the list. So a lot of times you want to ban out just what the other team is really good on, especially in tournaments at this level. So most of these, not like, traditional OPs, but just getting rid of stuff that people clearly can style on. The Fizz, the Swain, the Talia, the Elise, that's probably Elise support. Um, the Silas band could go both ways. It could also be trying to open up some of the stuff they're trying to pick. Maybe if they're trying to pick like the Ari or something like that. For some reason, we saw a lot of Akali Prio last time. Maybe that. But to make sure no one can B1 Azir, because that shit is broken, Coinflip is banning Azir on third. And now you could go for a lot of the like generic OPs right here. Especially the mid laners, and picking up the Tristana flex is pretty good. This champion's really good, especially she can go bot. Normally she goes mid, but she can flex both ways, and she is pretty flippin' strong. So not a huge surprise that it's picked up here. Um, Normally, people respond to her in mid lane. Just they just kind of realize they just have to take it. But there's a lot of picks that are kind of still open here. You've banned the Silas. So you can go if they go Ari Vi here. Yeah, the Vi as soon as they lock that Vi, that quickly is pretty clear, and that's probably one of the reasons they banned that Silas is because they wanted that Ari, like I was mentioning earlier. So instantly going with the Ari Vi, that is one of the few things that can really reliably lock up Tristana, especially like at level 6 when you're trying to just beat him down. So not that crazy, but Ari Vi went to pretty straightforward comp. On the other side, Leona and Aurora looking like they're going to get picked up. The Leona is locked in for sure. So that's probably going to mean this a Tristana Leona bot lane. Coinflip has to either choose their AD or support pool to get pinched. Right here, you see their bot lane, so you kind of have to decide like, are we going to go for, just I don't know, something like the Jinx or just any strong ADC, or instead are you going to make sure that you get a support that can be locked here pretty well? Because with Leona picked, If you're looking for an engage support to pair with this Vi Ari, they can pinch that here. So it's not going to be surprising to me if small brains decide to ban out the like Nautilus and Rel and just get those generic engage supports completely off the table, forcing Coinflip onto something a little more awkward. Um, Sivir is not the most common thing into like if you're in the Leona lane. Tristana, obviously, you can E the explosion of the full stacked E, and Tristana doesn't get the reset, and you don't take any of the damage, which is so much of Tristana's damage, especially early on. So the Sivers feels really good there, and they feel like their support pool is deep enough they don't have to worry about it. Now, Coinflip, looking like they're banning out some top laners, so either they already know what they want and they don't want the Ambessa or Cassante into it, or they are just banning some pretty solid blinds that would work here, but I don't see that probably will be the case because you're probably going to pick support on 4, and then you just want to ban away the things that would make it real easy, like the Cassante, like the Ambessa. So honestly, you go anyway with the support here. I like the Tom Kench with so much dive on Small Brain's side. It does protect your Sivir a lot, who's going to need a lot of that protection because Ari and Vi, they're not going to be back by your Sivir. They are going to be in. So now that kind of makes it harder for Small Brains. They have to decide whether they want to commit harder to this dive, take down the Sivir, or round out the comp a little bit. And it's going to require a blindside top, and there's jungle. And that Poppy is pretty good into the Vi. So, yeah, and the Ari, obviously. So I would not be surprised if that comes through. I'm kind of surprised that wasn't banned. That could go top, but it's probably going jungle.
It's most likely going jungle. Yeah. That's a staple of Hair Whiz here. The Kench, I'm kind of surprised. We haven't seen a Kench in a while. So I almost would say this Kench could be flexible as well.
If your Tom Kench goes top here, you're super hard trolling. Like you're picking this Tom Kench to support and protect your Sivir in team fights from the super hard dive that they've created. So if they do flex the Tom Kench top, then like you might as well just FF, bro.
Yeah, they don't. So they don't now with Renekton, yeah, because he's a shield breaker.
Yeah. So we were talking about, the strong blinds, Ambessa, Cassante that they picked up, Renekton, the classic strong top lane blind. Now you've got a lot of options. You need some AP to round out this comp, but fuck that, bro. Yeah, he deals magic damage, but the Rock is here. He does not give a flying fuck about Poppy W, and is one of those champs that, as soon as you see Tristana jumping, you can go on her. Tristana can buffer it, but a lot of times Malphite still, will get on her and do what needs to be done. So just more dive rounding out this Ari Vi. That being said, like, it feels kind of weird thinking about, like, how we're going to execute this dive. I feel like a lot of this game is going to be decided in the early mid-game, especially, like, once we hit 6. How powerful, how unlocked will this RE-Vi combo be across the map to get their Sivir in a lead? And if they can get her in a position to be in a lead, how much can this RE-Vi and Tom Kench protect Sivir in those team fights? So I love the red side team comp here. Poppy's just going to make it a little more annoying to, like, kind of full commit to... like just perma-diving every team fight, but I think that kind of works with the Sivir. So you just kind of want that RE-Vi, even Malphite engine working like between like 10 and 20 minutes, and then after that, slowly your Sivir becomes stronger and stronger. So yeah, I feel like that's pretty good. If you're small brains, though, I feel like you really do kind of want to make something happen on the bottom side. I don't really want to be ganking this Malphite Renekton lane that much. They might even be able to get some kills off of it, but like Renekton Poppy versus Malphite Vi 2v2, that's not like that crazy. I feel like this Malphite won't be in danger that much. He might die once or twice early on, but I don't think it will ever be that big of an issue. But on the other side, like you want to get your Tristana ahead because like we were talking about how on the Coinflip side, they just kind of want this mid jungle engine to get them to the early mid game and then assist Sivir in taking over the game in those late game team fights. On the especially because Small Brains has like no hard engage other than like Leona or an Aurora flank. Like this is going to be really easy for Sivir to survive in these fights, especially because when there's very little engage, that makes it easier for Sivir because she only has one spell shield. But yeah, so like here in the draft, I really like the red side team comp. That being said, if this Tristana and Leona accelerate really aggressively, maybe even if Aurora gets some attention and manages to find some good fights, because Aurora, Tristana, like there's a lot of explosiveness, especially in like the mid game on this comp. When Aurora and Tristana are on 2 items, that is going to be like when they're just able to deal some serious damage. But it's not as big of a spike compared to the other team as you might want. So Them just getting a little strong there early, I think, would be swag money moves. So I would not be surprised if the start of this game is going to be small brains playing all around bot side, trying to dragon stack, accelerate this game, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, basically covered everything here. I think it's definitely bot side centric for small brains here in the early, but level 6 is going to be in a lot here for Coinflip. I really just like that it doesn't have to be like synchronizing ults when it comes to like Vi Ari. You could Malphite Ari, you can Malphite Tom Kench. Like, there's a lot of intricacies between the champs here for Coinflip. It's just going to be, for me, it's the impact that this Aurora makes early, because she will get outscaled, in my opinion, like quite early in this game.
Yeah, she has like a window like level 6, like 6 to 11 or like 6 to 10, where I feel like she needs to win her team a dragon fight. Like
Yeah.
one of these, like these dragon fights just cannot go Coinflip's way. And I mean, we were talking about how you want to kind of play through this Tristana Leona, but that also means on the other side, I would not be surprised if I see this Vi playing towards Grubs, Vi, Ari, Malphite. I don't know if I like that more. I guess it depends on how strong the Aurora and the Renekton get early on. But I would not be surprised if we saw some early objective trading around there. But yeah, once we're at like 15 minutes, I want to see Coinflip. If they can sneak a dragon early on, I think that would be really big for them because of how bot side focused small brains are going to play. And if small brains don't play super hard bot side, then this Renekton needs to go sicko mode and take over the game. But the later the game goes, the harder. Obviously, Renekton falls off. We know that, but I think that's sometimes kind of over exaggerated by people. He's still a big ass guy who like will one shot your ADC if he flash W's them, especially with follow up from like Aurora and Leona and stuff. But that being said, it's really hard to get past Vi, past Ari, past Tom Kench, even like Malphite, and really do enough to the server to take her out. So I think we kind of talked about each phase of the game, but I'm kind of excited to see how they play around it, especially these early objectives. Like I want to see how small brains how they prioritize like the first 15 minutes. I think a lot of it is going to be on this Poppy to play make early, which always kind of feels awkward to say. Because this Poppy pretty clearly here was picked like not to go for crazy playmaking, but because like you see by Ari, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think a lot of this game is going to be on how this Poppy plays around her bot side early on, and then in team fights, how she can use the keeper's verdict, and I forget what the W is called. Steadfast presence.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how effectively she can use that, which I think it'll be hard. So I want to see her accelerate. Someone on this blue side team needs to be strong enough that they can play through it pretty quickly, because all three of these lanes spike at around the same time, and if they can't get it, if they can't really blow their lead up there, then the clock starts ticking.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Even if there's a world where they get, 1,500 2K gold ahead, if it's not on the right members like Renekton, Aurora, I don't even think their scaling curve matches the type of spikes that are coming out of Coinflip's comp, especially with like the reliability of Sivir wave clear mid game,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then just
And Ari, dude.
yeah, and Ari as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be I think one of the ways they have to force this issue is one of the reasons I was talking about Dragon so much is because, if you're a scaling team comp, you're so chill giving up, or if you're the team that scales, you're always chill giving up dragons. And every dragon you get delays that Elder Dragon fight that you obviously have to go for. Because no matter how far behind you are, if you have Elder Dragon, you're winning those fights. So, and every single dragon that you sneak or that you kind of steal from them, not in the literal sense, but more in like, you just shouldn't be getting dragons, you get a dragon. Every single dragon pushes that required fight timer back 5 minutes. And so if Coinflip managed to get one of these dragons early and like a small brain's kind of playing around top side to try and get this grubs, that's going to feel really good for them because it's going to give their Sivir more time to scale. That being said, like it's not like this team truly does like crazy outscale. I think this Malphite's going to be really hard to kill because your only AP damage is Aurora, and she normally kind of goes this bursty build. But yeah, it's not like small brains don't have ways into the fight because one thing they do have like is in these skirmishes with like Leona, Aurora ult, even like Renekton. In skirmishes, they're super favored. But Coinflip have the ability to find picks, and in team fights, they're really strong.
Yeah, yeah, I do think, though, kind of commenting on the dragon stacking, especially for small brains, if they stack and it ends up being something like Mountain Soul, Ocean Soul, something that helps just innate tankiness to be able to survive like the burst or the first punch thrown by Coinflip, then I think they're sitting really, really good. If it's something like Chemtech or Hextech, then I think it's kind of a feels bad moment to stack Drakes there. So we are loading in game.
Sorry about that, bro. I was heating up some mac and cheese. I mean, like, I guess, but like, I don't really think if I'm only trying to take like one or two of these early dragons, like, I don't really give a fuck which one it is. Like, the point of getting these dragons is going to be to relieve pressure, um, on your team comp and allow you to kind of more cleanly look for plays or trades the later the game goes, cross map. So yeah, I guess the dragons could be good, but I don't really think it matters which ones.
Well, I'm just saying, like if they stack dragons and say they roll Ocean, Mountain, Souls, like that, the stacking, then they turbo pressure the stacking, get the soul, and then that specific soul helps them like withstands the all in coming out of coin flip a lot better.
Oh, you're saying which Dragon's Soul blue team gets. I thought you were
Yeah.
saying which Dragon's red team sneaks. Yeah, I
No, no.
guess.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying is like if they play bot side and they get pressure on dragons, the couple early dragons they help, but honestly it's just what soul that you roll because coin flip's
Yeah,
even
you know,
okay with giving away
I think.
certain souls here.
Yeah, I guess. The problem with giving away Soul is more you're starting the Elder timer. Yeah, there's definitely just like better Souls, but honestly, I think it's just kind of like if you get Chemtech, it's like, oh, that kind of sucks. Now we're still playing for Elder. We're just a little less strong. So, yeah, but we will see. Nice Raptor Ward already, but Hair Whiz started off with that sweep,
You're gonna have to
and
pause.
is going to have to hit it 4 times.
You're gonna have to
Yeah.
pause, my friend.
Oh, am I? Where are you?
I'm not even loaded in yet.
Oh, I'm in game, dude.
I'm at 12 seconds, 13, 14,
All right.
15, 16. We good?
Count a little more.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23,
I'm in time.
24. Sweet. Yeah, bro, I'm rocking an old 2018 setup with a 1080, man. It takes a bit.
That's fine. You just count me each game.
Yep, yep. We are good now.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So yeah, my foresight correct yet again. Gonna have a little bit of a vision trade, obviously. Small brains here. Go up towards the top side.
Oh.
Try and get vision, but it gets cleared out. No sweeper needed, bro. Bankino just hits that here. Bid sick. A lot of position. They didn't really hold their position, so they weren't really sure that there was vision. So this Poppy just kind of had to say, well, if they walked there, they probably got it. And she walked in, and she walks in and clears it. But yeah, I mean this is the classic way of how you're supposed to trade vision. That being said, I think what kind of matters is how all the vision actually settled out up top. Red side has this defensive ward that will see if Poppy walks into their jungle to take any of their camps, and Small Brains will see Vi when she is on her Raptors and will have information on her clear here shortly. So yeah, we'll see. It's not if it's taking this time. There we go. And Sivir starting W. She's just gonna start the shove. I gotta go to my microwave CLT.
You're good.
Take it away.
Good. Oh, trade of electrocutes here in mid. Yeah. Vic trading pretty aggressively into this Malphite when the Q's down. Sivir doing Sivir things here. Interesting Fid brought Halo Blades. Or not Halo Blades, Bone Plating. Level 2 out of both. Sivir is going to end up flashing away, burning the barrier. Mono ends up burning from the Ignite here by Geoprow. And it looks like First Blood's going to come out here from the Coinflip bot lane. Fiddstick's having to flash away here, as it was almost a double kill handed over. Though First Blood did go over to Geo Prowl. Zenma already kind of roaming down here. He got some very early pressure onto Krieger, but Krieger kind of just freezing the lane there, so not really punishing the roam, which is fine. Oh! And Geo Prowl with a sneaky W. Kruger ends up getting chunked out here by Zenma. This was one of the things I highlighted in the show, was how this mid lane matchup was going to go. As Krieger is just normally a very consistent, very solid player, but Zenma is not afraid of making plays here. Oh, and we've seen a flash come out of Zenma to try and snipe Krieger, but Krieger ends up flashing away as well. So almost a solo kill, but Krieger ends up getting out here. Let's see if with this flash being down, if Hairwiz tries to punish that here in this mid lane.
Alright, I'm back CLT.
Missed a kill in the bot lane.
Yeah, I heard the First Blood, bro. And a little bit of snipe. Okay, so this Renekton, if this Renekton gets started kind of taken for a ride here, I don't know what he thinks he's doing here. Oh, flash from Matthias. Little greedy, bro. He's out of mana, so he's not able to shove this wave, and that's why that was so critical that went well, because if that... Well, maybe not critical that went well, but... Oh, no. Oh. He gets caught. Misses the slice just a little late. We blame Ping for that one. Gets knocked out of the dash and taken down. Malphite's going to finally manage to crash this wave. He's been trying to crash for like a minute and a half. And going to trade TPs up here in the top lane. No sums for either top laner here. And that is just going to be so good if you are Coinflip. You already get the Feat of Warfare.
Herwick making a move here.
Yeah, nice W here from Geo Prowl. So far, this early game has just been completely on Coinflip's side. And if you're small brains, you're going to start to feel, the pressure. Already down 1k gold, less than 5 minutes. Dragon's starting to come up. Poppy's on her reset. It's getting delayed, and that sucks. And, yeah, we're going to see how this kind of all goes. But, yeah, first Dragon spawned. Vi is a lot stronger. She already did a reset. She is going to clear up, though. I don't think Dragon's going to be contested for another, like, minute or two. Dude, what is this? What are you doing? This looks like my Renekton, bro. Matthias is just being a threat here. Vic needs to... Yeah, so here's kind of one of the problems with these, like, Fury champs. Or any champ with kind of an alternative resource bar, like Mordekaiser as well. You want access to the wave so that you can build up your Fury and you can have, like, you can be strong. That's kind of like the point, right? If Mordekaiser is able to hit the wave and hit you, then he gets a bigger shield, then his trades are even better. So, like, if he's trading, his trades get better. It's kind of the same for Renekton. If he's last hitting those minions, if he's hitting you, he's getting a ton of Fury, and everything he does is going to be a lot better. That's kind of been an issue so far this lane, especially with that early successful gank by Brandino. And now that Matthias has his ulti, he's going to be even harder to kill and already be able to impact everywhere across the map.
Yeah, for sure. We see the Malphite already looks like he's going some form of tank.
This is Vi's timer right here. She has levels. Oh, she doesn't have level 6, but Ari does. Ari's looking right now. She's going to go in. Charm
nice
does
charm.
land. She's kept up, and the Bolt Breaker's going to deal the rest of the damage. Brandino with a great look there. And that really was just the kind of the difference in tempo from both of these junglers. Poppy losing a lot of her time to go for that unsuccessful bot gank, forcing her back up towards the top side to clear down. Vi already had cleared all of her camps and had a timer to look there. Still none of her camps are up. She's not feeling pressured at all. Now she can look top lane. She got 6 off of that play too, CLT. So if Renekton ever overextends, and here we go, is the beginning Bolt Breaker in. Now it's going to be followed up with the Vi ult. Nice double dash from Vic the Butcher, but he's not going to be able to stay no matter how much Fury he has. Another reset early on for this Renekton, but Sivir might be overextended. Tahm Kench is not with her. They don't have the R yet. Spell Shield isn't up because she had to use it to avoid that Leona stun. She's going to take a little bit of damage. But despite all of that, this game is so good for Coinflip. And Hairwiz can't even take the Scuttle Crab. Tahm Kench is forcing him off.
Yep. Delaying Hairwiz enough so Brandino can base in and come back, which Brandino's absolutely Caulfield Warhammer pickaxe. He is massive right now. With these 2 early kills.
Now they don't really want to go for this objective quite yet. Ari and Vi don't have their ultimates up, so these fights are going to be hard. That's kind of what you're playing around. But Vi is going to be able to clear her bot side here, and then either she's going to go up towards Grubs, or she's going to go for something on the bot lane. Oh, they're saying we're just stronger right now. They're just going for it. Vi's feeling herself right now. Everybody's still level 5, doesn't have that Keeper's Verdict. But it's showing us on the top side, this Malphite clue, this wave, it really matters, is down here.
They're just giving.
It's just red sides. They're so strong right now, even without those ultimate resources, which are now coming up with the Ariel. Yeah, that being said, small brains here are going for the grubs. They're a little late on this play, but red side says, you know what? We're already feeling pretty good here. If you want to trade the grubs, even if you're a little late, that's fine. Vi's going to pick up her camps and accelerate her lead even more.
Yeah, we already see that Vi's up almost 1,000 gold already.
Yeah.
So this is going to be massive. This second ult coming out of Vi could break this game open already.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be around top or mid. Ari has her ult, so I have a feeling that, it might be on this Aurora. But Vi's heading to the top side. She's going to have to contest her Raptors against this Poppy. Ari gets some deep vision while that's happening. Poppy goes in. Poppy, though, we don't have to miss your Hair Whiz. Going to get out scot-free.
Yep.
But now Vi's going to be free to clear the rest of her jungle. Poppy, it feels really awkward if you're Poppy because you want to try and match this Vi. You want to make sure your laners are all good, but all your camps are up and you're losing value by the second because of that. So Vi's going to have a timer here after she completes her topside camps. Probably to look on this Renekton. Renekton decides he's going in a little earlier than expected. Matthias has not ulted yet. He's waiting for the Vi to show up. Dominus is still procced. After these Krugs, Renekton can't be staying here.
Yeah.
He's going to get a bunch of Fury. They're looking to dive this Malphite, maybe.
Potentially. Oh, Lord.
Poppy's actually in a lot of trouble. Yep, there it is. The cease and desist. Poppy's going to get chunked down. Malphite's here with the ult. He's going to get both, and it's going to be a slaughter. Vic the Butcher is chunked down after Hair Whiz is taken down. But Aurora's on the flank. She has the ultimate. Get ready to head to the Spirit Realm. But Zima, Brandino, this Vi's going to be dealing a lot of damage, but not enough. Great play by Zima. That's exactly what we were talking about. Oh! Brandino. Nice. Just felt a little too spicy with it. That being said, here's Ari late on the play, is going to clean it up. And somehow, yet another play. It's likely going to go the way of coin flips. There we go. Double kill for Ari. And finally, a good play that...
but diving.
Diving on the bottom side. So we're going to pop the barrier. Here's the TP, though. And bad from worse yet again. This is going to be the Malphite. They can slowly clean this up. Look at the Tahm Kench's positioning. He's going to make sure that Leona won't be able to escape. She's probably going to take the blast plane out. Gets hit mid-air with the tongue. And Monogatari and Fidsick are between a rock and a hard play. So rock and a frog, I should say. Dropping the barrier as well. That feels absolutely brutal. The Ignite did not take down Fidsick. But now Tristana is even lower.
Fidsticks lives from a level up off the mid lane minions.
That's crazy.
On the very last tick of Ignite.
I did not see that. That is absolutely wild.
Yeah. Oh, that's insane.
I don't see him as looking for something. She just wants to try and burst him out. But it's not gonna. This is crazy. If your Sivir is already feeling unlocked at this stage of the game, it's gonna be a bit scary. So now, if you are small brains, you're down almost 3k gold. How do you get back in the game? The answer is kind of straightforward. You kind of target the next objective you want to fight for. You get vision control in the area. But the big one is you need some more gold on especially your mid and your bot. Your Tristana and your Aurora, but especially your Aurora needs to kind of get an item. If your Aurora has an item, she can probably look for a burst. People are still kind of squishy at this stage in the game. Vi, even though that Eclipse gives her a lot of stats, she's still kind of squishy. She's going to deal a lot of damage, but she's not... Pardon me, she's not like Steric's Death Dance Vi yet. So, there's still this window here, as the pink ward will be protected. Brandino keeping some presence up here. Poppy, I'm not exactly sure what she's looking for. She's just kind of walking around. We're just kind of having fun. Neither jungler really has camps up.
Yeah, Poppy
is here before Tahm Kench.
Poppy trying to pick up scraps here. Right now.
It was a little slow. Yeah, well, she's just looking for something. She has a timer here. The problem is it's not lining up with any of her teammates' timer. Tristana is just coming back from base. They were looking for something mid because of Poppy's free timer there. That's why you saw Leona roam, but she was a little bit too slow, and it meant that the Vi and the Ahri managed to get out. So now Poppy's looking for something on the top side, but this, I mean, like, this Malphite unstoppable force, if he somehow, yeah, it's gonna just burn a flash out of Poppy to get that Malphite ult. And that feels really bad because now you kind of want to look to follow up on this dive. Is Malphite going to try and hold it? The Demolisher is going to make it really hard. I think you're just going to have to kind of give this turret. And he will. That's going to be first turret. And one of the feats.
Yeah.
Yark's still going to have to look for. So the final feat's going to be the objective feat.
Yeah, which they're tied 1.
Which Vi's already getting a head start on.
Yeah, they're tied 1-1 now. Well, after this dragon 2-1 in favor of Coinflip.
Yeah.
See a first item block cleaver by Renekton, so I think this
really good pickup.
Yep. Yeah, he's gonna have pressure in this 1v1.
Yeah, 1v1, and also in general, just on his team, if you look at his members, the Poppy and the Tristana both dealing quite a bit of physical damage, so having the Black Cleaver is gonna feel good. You're gonna need to pick it up at some point into, like, you know, Malphite and just in general because of how much AD you have on your team, but that does feel good here.
Oh, see an old school Tom Kench pickup here in the Heartsteel on the support.
Yeah, honestly, I don't hate it, especially into like this Leona, but it's kind of weird whenever you pick this up on support in general, because our support, right now he's just kind of acting, he's just kind of roaming around, trying to match plays, be wherever Poppy is, be wherever Leona is. So like if you're just in a meta where everyone just kind of sits mid forever, it makes sense because, you know, you're going to be able to get some stacks off of it. But it feels a little bit weird. That being said, if this game keeps fighting this much, where there's like, you know, like 0.75 kills a minute, like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. You'll get enough stacks. Sivir, I think Sivir's gonna be able to get the bot lane here. Because Tristana took yet another kind of awkward. Oh, she W'd, which means it's gonna be a little bit awkward. If she spell shields the E, which she doesn't, I don't know exactly what happened there. That being said, Tristana, she's going to have a jump, but Ahri's got 3. Misses the charm. Barrier comes out. A TP response from Aurora. On the top side, something's trying to happen. Mateus has unstoppable force again. Here is the Vi. Who are they going to target first? Going on to Renekton. Full power. Steadfast presence. Vi is going to go down first. Tom Kench is here. Now they got to run for the hills. 2 greedy plays. 5 members of Coinflip mean that 3 kills worth of gold. They're going to go into Small Brain's pockets. And likely this Rift Herald as well. Oh, flash stun, making sure the Tom Kench can escape. He's going to go down as well. That's 4. Only person to survive is the Ahri down in bot lane. 4 kills and a Rift Herald. And just like that, Small Brain have Coinflipped their way back in the game.
Yeah, what a big swing of gold and momentum here. And then this will actually tie up objective feats 2-2 here for both teams. So the next Dragon's going to decide feats of strength.
It all comes back to the Dragons, CLT.
That it
all comes back to the Dragons. That being said, if I'm Coinflip, yeah, I maybe just kind of threw the game from like a super winning position. But we knew these were the windows. We've been saying all game. Aurora got her item. Renekton got his item. That was kind of their window to be strong. This is always when they were going to be strong. So even though you were super far ahead, going back to this kind of game state still does not feel that bad if you're Coinflip.
Yeah, we do see Vi invading the bot side camps here, so...
Yeah, and let's look at the vision, and you can kind of see where, where stuff happened there. Up on the top side, there's a lot of vision control from Small Brains, but obviously this this Leona now needs to transition it into her own bottom side, but she's walking over 3 different wards. Coinflip are under no false assumptions here. They know exactly where everybody is. And they might look for something here. Vi and Ahri are together, and that is always scary.
Yeah, but
I love this state of the game. Sivir's just going to sit mid. She's going to clear waves all game. Eventually, Vi and Ahri are just going to keep hunting for a pick, and eventually they're going to find one. Game is pretty straightforward at this point. Malphite and Renekton kind of mirroring each other here. Malphite can look for something mid. He has flash and ultimate. He could look for a huge play here if Vi or Ahri do shift mid. That Aurora's scary right now.
Yeah, it's going to continue to get scary here at the second item. It won't start outscaling here until about third. I feel like
2 Mirth Treads. Which is correct. She is the only AP, and the later this game goes, the more, useless is the wrong word, but the less useful she will be. As Malphite, he's kind of taking this extended trade. He's just clearing the wave. Very Bowsian of him. Gonna get one more Fury Q off, I think, here. Instead, he goes for the W. He goes Dominus. He decides he's gonna take it all. Mateus, though, doesn't even burn the Unstoppable Force. Pardon me. As Rift Herald, Tempo in a Bottle is popped mid lane. I don't think this will be able to take the turret, though. Sivir's going to be able to clear this wave.
Oh, no, the minions.
I don't even know if it's going to crash. Tristana said she's going to take it, but she's going to die, and she's
What?
going to be in an awkward situation. She's going to have to W out. And the follow-up, the ult from Vi is going to pick her up.
Oh.
But how deep is Vi going to accidentally end up going?
Aurora's
Zima
here.
is here as well. How much damage does Aurora do? Sivir doesn't have the damage quite yet to take over these fights. We have a
Here
TP
comes
mid,
Ari.
though, from the Malphite. He has Flash, and he has the Unstoppable Force. Ari is here as well. She has the ult, she has the charm, so they can look for a play here. Dragon is up. This is super fightable if you're a coin flip. A lot of resources just burned by small brains. Look at the ultimates. There's not a single one here, but on the other side, Unstoppable Force, Ari, everything possible here for coin flip. Instead, they decide they want to wait it out a little bit. They know they scale. They know they're in a good spot, but if somebody, steps the wrong way, it's not like small brains have the ability to burn this dragon. This is not the highest DPS comp in the world.
This
But
dragon.
if Zima keeps finding nice trades like that, then it'll be a lot harder to fight it if you're coin flip. But Mateus, he's not looking to be a real tank, but he needs to get this ult combo off, but he's getting stunned up. Is he going to get the knockup? No! Right before he dies, it does not go off. Zima's looking for something on December, but it doesn't quite work out. Ari is on an awkward flank here. Blue side stuck into two parts as Renekton is chunked down, but he gets a pretty big heal and explosion. Hairways gets the kill credit, but Tristana is unlocked. Krieger on the side is dealing so much damage. Just gonna get one, gonna get a reset, gonna get another reset. Flashes, a little bit of an awkward timing there on the charm, but this Ari is taking over these fights. And your AD is up. You've got Tom Kench. You've got this Ari. Blue side's resetting. You're gonna get the dragon. That's coin flip. Are gonna pick up the first 3 dragons of the game and are gonna secure the feats, bro.
Yeah, what a just a tense fight and situation from both teams. The resets from Zenma and then Krieger on the backside of this fight. Oh, but wait.
All right, here we go. We're going for a full fight. Be careful. This Sivir needs to be careful. Her
Sivir
barrier
falls
is
here.
shredded. Dragon is up. Neither team have a smite here. Poppy's going to be the first one to make a move.
Oh!
They want to keep it. Tom Kench is going to try and steal it. You just got to get in the middle of the tongue. 5 HP. It got pretty low as it turns out that they just didn't have the sauce. They didn't have the sauce.
Nope. And that's feats of strength going over to coin flip here.
Yep.
Which to me, that's a massive, massive pickup for them.
Yeah, that and all the gold they've been going for, they've been able to pick up somehow through all of these plays. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about the win cons all game that small brain need to kind of take this one away, and they're starting to get it. They get some of those items in their pockets. This 1 to 2 item power spike is obviously where they were going to be strong. I mean, yeah, that's the entire sentence, dude. Right now is when they're strongest, and that's why they've been able to win these fights. Otacon is up as well. If they want to keep snowballing, this needs to be their next objective. Leona's kind of looking in. Here's Monogatari, but did he overplay? Malphite goes in. Not going to have
Rocket
a jump for
coming
a
out.
while here. Tristan is stuck, manages to get out, but she's low. She's likely out of this fight. Malphite escapes down. Sivir's on the mid wave. No Otacon yet. No, we don't have DPS. We're not going to start this, are we? No. Sivir's just clearing mid wave. Sivir's doing Sivir things. We're playing around this mid turret. Renekton dashes in. Great spell shield from the Sivir, making sure that she's not going to get stunned up. Renekton's going to get chunked out a little bit here. He's going full in. He knows his damage.
Lord.
He wants the Sivir. He's going to get it. Vic the Butcher finally strong enough on that 2-item power spike to take down Sivir. Tom Kench, did he have ulti that whole time? I think he did. He just wasn't. He just wasn't feeling it. I guess he just wasn't fucking with his AD. We've all been there. Hi, Messiah. So yeah, like, still, now this game has been kind of crazy. It's not necessarily, if you're blue side, you want to stabilize it, but you want to get in a spot where you feel good, you have tempo, you're strong on map, you push waves, you take Otacon. That's kind of the next, phase of this game.
Yeah, we see even Hair was on his Poppy, who was behind in this early game. He beat 5 to the 2 items here after all this fighting. So now him getting tankier, I think, really helps try to set up this front line.
Now here we go. This is kind of the raiding party that you're setting up. All 5 of your members are going to get control of this top side before looking for Otacon. That being said, I don't know how they need to start it like instantly, pretty much, because they're gonna shove midway or top wave, but they're gonna lose midwave, and the Sivers gonna take this turret, and suddenly it's not gonna look that bad for them, or not that bad of a trade. Otacon is started up, and it's certainly going to go the way of small brains, but Sivir manages to get that mid tier 2 finally knocked down. That's going to unlock quite a bit of the map. Maybe even a second one here on tier 2.
Yeah, Sivir hitting these 2 items here, so able to really chop down these turrets. But Zenma's going to catch this mid wave here. They still might.
Oh, she's greedy. Nah, Sivir, if she stays, she's so greedy. Yeah, there we go. And now you need to reset. It's not your turn anymore. They went to Otacon. You were able to do what you wanted on map. Yeah, so Tristana still does not have this IE. That is so fucked, bro.
Yeah, only sitting on 300 gold, so still quite a bit away. Actually,
yeah, she's a little desync.
Well, I think the component or the combined cost is like what 600, so she's about halfway there.
Yeah, I think it's like 425. But I have not played AD in a while.
Same here.
Yeah, so great play. They got Otacon. They've completely stabilized the game. That being said, they're kind of now in the position that they needed to be before. Like, they fumbled the early game, but they gained it all back through some great plays and Coinflip, literally coin flipping a few plays and throwing the game. So now they need to continue to accelerate. They need to pick up these dragons, which is Infernal, so every one they pick up is going to feel pretty good. They need to pick up these dragons, maybe look for plays on side with this Leona. So, yeah.
Yeah, agreed. I don't know
point from Pixelated Pizza in chat. The point of the game where this Vi Ari are just kind of able to one-shot somebody is kind of fading away. Like, if you find a good charm on Aurora, maybe you do just look to chunk her down. But the reason it's kind of awkward for them to play to protect their Sivir in these fights is Sivir's still only on 2 items. She really wants to be on 3 before she's doing any kind of fighting. She really wants the Zeal item, get her attack speed up, bro. Keep the bag up. So they're just kind of in an awkward spot. I would not be surprised if here Coinflip just decides, hey, you know what? They get the next dragon. Keep putting gold into my Sivir. Maybe even 2 dragons, depending on how many waves she's able to pick up. But probably just give away this next dragon. Keep funneling gold into Sivir if you can, and make that work. If Ari finds something still that, that's good, but you're not really finding a pick onto this Renekton. This guy is huge right now.
Yeah, we see Vi picked up the Black Cleaver. That's interesting. I thought it'd be like Sterix or something else, a little more defensive.
Yeah, these Vi players just love their big stat sticks. So yeah, here we go. Dragon's getting taken. But yet again, we see Coinflip maybe over-committing to this dragon. Sivir might have an inside track here to take it, but instead, Small Brain are taking this moment to maybe look on Sivir. Ari is desync to the team. She has TP, but if this fight goes long, that could be a little awkward. That being said, forced out of mid lane, Coinflip are, but top turret is going to be theirs, so not a worthless trade. That being said, now they have nobody clearing midwave. A little bit of an awkward macro sequence because of how far up Coinflip played there. Now Zima is going to look for a little more. Sivir is ulted by the Tahm Kench, so that gives her some time to escape. She flashed over the wall in the red buff, and Tahm Kench will pay the price. Mid turret isn't going to fall, instead the Frog does.
Well played, honestly, there by GeoProw. Got the ult on to Sivir, and then she spell shielded the Poppy ult, and then flashed away. So.
Yeah, but like the fact that anyone is like that they're played like that at all is the issue. They played super greedy mid. They walked up to try to take that turret. They didn't have the time for. I get why. You also kind of feel a little bit of pressure, even though you're like, yeah, I'm Sivir, I'm gaming. Even then, they're making a play on Dragon. You want to try and look for that mid turret, but they don't get it. So then they're forced into an awful situation. Even if they didn't engage there on the Tahm Kench, low key, Small Brain could have just like targeted the mid tier one and tried to force people off that, or even like look for a dive if it's just like Sivir. But yeah, just a greedy play kind of leads to the Tahm Kench's death, even though it took like 30 seconds to get there.
It looks like they got vision on Vi bot because there was a massive amount of pings on this Baron. Are they gonna try it? Potentially? No. Just clearing vision.
No. All right, gonna start it up. It is kind of an awkward spot because no matter how strong you are, starting Baron here would be a little goofy. It's not like you have a. It's only 27 minutes. Your Tristana's just on these 2 items, so still feels weird. You're still, I think you're still trying to play around these dragons, but I mean it's gonna take 3 minutes until the next one. You just need a little more control over the top side before you look for Baron, and of course you need your jungler to actually be on that side of the map. But yeah, Heartsteel check. Tom Kench Heartsteel 55. 55. That is crazy, bro. We are.
And
I'm not gonna say trolling, but a little bit of a unfortunate buy.
And I feel like the way these fights are starting out, how they have to almost like walk into small brains' comp, not going lock it second, kind of feels a little weird here on the Tom Kench. So I just feel like you want to be able to just protect a Sivir at all costs.
Yeah, that might be a little overdoing it though. You're still Tom Kench. You can go it. I don't know. I feel like the real sin here is this Heartsteel. But Tristana's a little in an awkward spot.
Oh.
Great cancel there by Poppy to make sure they're not followed up. Vi's pretty deep, though. She's not going to go on the Tristana, though. Instead, opting to go into this Leona.
Oh,
now,
how
will Ahri take over the fight? Sivir's not here quite yet. She's on the backside, kind of getting chunked down by this Renekton, and he's going to get it. A huge play from Vic the Butcher. Completely flips this fight because of him and Aurora's positioning.
Oh.
Ahri, look, she's going to get knocked away.
ADCs are
but
down.
The Buster Shot isn't enough to take her out of the fight, but Renekton is here. Vic the Butcher has completely flipped this game from how it started. He's going to keep forcing. Vi is here. She's not going to land the Vault Breaker. Now they're both in, and they're going to get cleaned up. Say goodbye to your shield, bro. Say goodbye to your life. That's not enough to take Baron, but another huge, absolutely huge fight for Small Brain No Mechanics, as now they're going to have their turn to walk into the bot side here, take control around the Dragon Vision, or Baron if, they really, really want that. But with them, in an even stronger position than before, it's just kind of coming back to Coinflip, staying true to their name, coin flipping these fights that they don't really have to.
Yeah, what a massive fight. Both backliners end up getting popped by the divers and Renekton and Vi here.
Getting this mid turret makes it so much easier for Small Brain to play because it makes it so much harder for Coinflip to play. They're not able to just sit this Sivir mid, literally never worry about her at all. Now there's a few extra steps they have to take. Obviously, she's still going to do that. It's just you have to put a little more resources, maybe have Tom Kench a little closer, a little more often. As Leona is burning the ult mid, Zenith Blade does not connect. Malphite's not with the team, but this is where it gets kind of sketchy giving up these dragons. The last dragon we were mentioning is super easy to give up that dragon. Oh, they're only going to get 2. Now you're giving up the 3rd. Like, yeah, you can, but it's like, do we really want to? I mean, like, it's not really our turn to play in here. We kind of fucked up like 4 times in a row, and we're not really allowed to contest for this dragon, but like 3 Infernal Dragons, like that just can't be real. Like, I don't want that. So instead,
do they threaten posture Baron here?
They could. I mean, if they started up right away, this is not bad, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Coinflip, yet again, true to their name. Fuck this shit, dude. 50-50. Get your asses off Dragon. Tristana staying is going to be awkward as hell. This Tristana is not going to be in this fight for a long time. Aurora has TP, but Dragon is getting absolutely burned. Vi and this Sivir are shredding it, dude. And that's going to be Baron. There's no way they can possibly fight it. That being said, if Aurora finds a good flank, but she has no big flank wards, Ahri's out of the pit. She used one of her ult charges because they know they just need to get out, and that's an absolutely huge steal. Dragon for Baron. Yeah, it sucks if they get 3 Infernal Dragons. I'll take Baron over that. That's another, 3 minutes where the enemy team just cannot fuck with me. And it's going to make these tier 2 turrets really easy to take down if you manage to get push in these lanes.
Yeah, agreed. I think the Baron actually is super effective against Small Brains' comp because the wave clear that they really don't have much access to. Like, Aurora hates clearing Baron minions if they end up like grouping and solo pushing a lane. I think the biggest thing here is like they need this Malphite to be able to help frontline and create a little space to combat these wards and vision overall.
They can't. They're looking for a pick here. They're just kind of A-ramming it with Baron, which honestly, if I'm... Oh, Tom Kench W. He's in.
Oh, big
deep.
R.
He lands on 2. Aurora's responding, though. We got dives on both sides. Sivir is DPSing. She's not taking down, but Renekton is
rock.
on her, and no one is able to save her. She has to jump to the backside of the fight.
Oh, Sivir!
She's going to kill the Tristana. She's on the back. Vic the Butcher is still taking over this fight. He gets a triple. He's going to be able to get the other two if he would. I don't got to say it, but pentakill? Sivir walking up is going to take down the Poppy.
Penta?
He gets the quad. He's going to maybe pick up this Penta. I mean, Malphite. Malphite can kind of run a pretty far way, bro. You get hit by the rock, and he can sprint, but Malphite, these Baron minions also are going to deal quite a bit of damage for him, but he's eventually going to be taken down. Black Cleaver is enough, and here's the Q healing, and the pentakill for Vic the Butcher, completely taken over this fight. Dude, what? Absolutely crazy. Both sides diving too far. Sivir is just not able to play that fight how she wants to. She ends up having that kind of crazy blast play where she's also diving and she takes down the Tristana. Don't hate that because of the position she was in. She had to get away from that Renekton. But it cannot be that hard to peel this Renekton who's just like max slice and dicing at your AD. But despite that, you know, Ari they're still playing like it's the early game. Like they can, you know, take over these entire fights, but it's just not really working out that way.
Yep. And this is a world where if you're Renekton, you're yelling full build in chat because you are full 6 items upgraded tier 3 boots. Or tier 4, however you want to look at it. And TP up as well. Now he's going to split. But it feels so bad to lose all the Barons there in that fight, too.
Yeah. So, what I was trying to say before, for some reason we fought there, is you're like A-ramming with Baron, which, I mean, if you're blue side here, you're kind of fine with. It's like, oh no, we get to like, clear the wave. And we have like this, we have this Poppy, we have really good just like tools here. It's not like they can force these dragons, it's not like they have crazy siege or anything. What really needed to happen there is they needed to probably play like 4 mid and then like 1 top to try and crack that tier 2, or 1 bot. Just top is a little easier because, you know, the turret's like 5 HP. So yeah, I don't know why ARAM mid was necessarily the call there, but it was. Now though, you know what? We tried 1v2 with this Renekton. Now let's do 1v3. Here's Sivir. Renekton on pretty low. Sivir is kind of melee mode though. A little suspicious. Eventually though, Renekton's gonna fall shut down. Does go over to Malphite. Here's the Aurora. Sivir does get caught by the damage. Tristana gonna live for something. She does. She jumps over, but she's a little out of her depth here. She gets chopped up and taken down. And another overly aggressive fight gets pushed because of Renekton's greed. After that pentakill, he was feeling himself a little too much. Aurora's going to be taken down as well. And let's look at the timers. Dragon's up in a minute. That timers are like 40 seconds. That gives Coinflip more than enough time to get into the area and take control once they're on reset here. That's exactly what it looks like they're going to do. They need to kind of fix their mid and bot wave, make sure those are shoved in. You know, you are in control of the game right now. Take your turns normally. Shove in those waves. Force a bad play from blue side.
Yeah, I agree. These teams are like searching out to fight each other right now.
Right. Sivir's going to shove this next mid wave, and then she's going to walk right to Dragon, probably. Even though, well, maybe that's...
Potentially see a 7 Dragon game.
They just want to get control of the area. As they're looking really aggressively for Poppy because they know she's the jungler, and if she's taken down, then this Dragon is almost absolutely assured. There's the Steadfast Presence, but the Vault Breaker was saved. Doesn't connect, though. The ult from Ari Charm doesn't land. This is actually really awkward. It's sick. The Leona on the other side does not die as well. That being said, forcing the Poppy to reset right there does feel pretty good. It's not like she has the Hex Gates. Yeah, she'll have Home Guard, but it's not like she has the Hex Gates to run all the way back. Dragon, he's spawning 3, 2, 1. That bad boy is up. You don't have your jungler here yet. You don't have your engaged tool here yet. If they're going to play the fight, it's going to be wild, but they don't have the time. Dragon's going to be burned down too quickly. The Sivir is at 4 items, bro. So,
yep.
It's going to go all the way to the final Dragon of the game.
Yes, LDR's now gonna make these team fights like much better for Sivir, especially against this Renekton. I mean, he's still gonna take a while to die, but it doesn't feel impossible now.
Dude, I don't know what my Malphite ulting here. I fucking knew to do that, dude. I knew to do that, dude. That could end up being a game throw if Sivir gets access, and she does. She's getting absolutely blown up. She's getting her autos off, but Renekton is on top of her. And he's going to get stuck underneath the turret, but the Sarah's Gauge gives him enough HP to hold on just a little bit while longer. He's going to end up dying, though.
Krieger,
a lot of damage coming off Ari. Ari has one more dash. She doesn't have flash. If she gets just a little farther in, she's going to be able to do a lot here. She knows it. Look at her. She's running. She has the W. The turn lands. Shunked out. Has to flash out. If Poppy gave up that kill, Ari knows that she could have reset that into so much more. Dude, I saw the Malphite moving. I was like, dude, I fucking know what this guy's about to do.
Yeah, you called that.
But it ends up working out. because of just the craziness of that fight, Renekton not able to cross the finish line there at the very end, and
they don't do this that quickly. By the way,
they do it quickly now. Let's not. Yeah, dude. Aurora's here. Aurora can like walk up and maybe like QE, but like she does not have it like that. The real thing here is if Aurora can stop the backs for long enough, but we know. Yeah, Aurora's looking. She's gonna manage to stop this Malphite back. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Malphite's shield. It did not. Okay. The Malphite shield meant he didn't back. That didn't even hit Ahri, by the way. It was the Luden's proc that hit Ahri. So,
I didn't catch that.
Hit Malphite. He didn't recall. Sorry, he continued the recall because he had the shield, but it bounced to Ahri, stopping her recall. Bro, I'd be Mia-pinging the fuck out of that if I was them. Okay, so Baron minions are up. So you are all chill. Keeper's Verdict. They want to stop the fight here. Who was knocked away? It's going to be Malphite. This fight's going to be super awkward. Tahm Kench did save the Vi from a uncertain fate.
That's three ults down by Small Brains here.
And they get absolutely nothing, and that feels absolutely huge. There's no objective up right now for them to try and turn that into a play. The Ahri is down, so on red side, like, just the fact that they did not run over you there feels so good. That Keeper's Verdict only knocking away the Malphite, and Tahm Kench able to neutralize it is awesome. Now that Vari's going to come back up, now you go back. You get your waves in a good spot so that you can actually go for a play. Dragon's up in 2.5 minutes. That's 2.5 more minutes of gold on this Sivir. She's going to probably back right here and buy a big-ass item.
Yeah, she's sitting on 2,300
or she's going to take
right
Raptors. Now. Oh, she wants more, dude. She is so greedy. This little greedy little she's just devouring all that chicken. She's kind of greedy. She knows that nothing's going to happen for 2 minutes, so she can just kind of keep sitting mid. You see this Ahri kind of hovering around the position. They don't want their Sivir to get jumped on because they know that could be the end of the game. Aurora is in this top lane. Top lane tier 2, if this goes for too long, is a little bit in danger. So you are going to have to send somebody up there. Never mind, Aurora just, she wanted a little bit of gold. Wanted to finish that Void Staff, probably. Which makes sense, but this feels really good. This feels really good for Coinflip. Really good.
Yeah, it's going to be risky for Small Brains to now walk into this bottom side here.
Yeah, it's going to be hella risky. Ahri, we're not looking for anything, thank God. Okay, look, everyone on red side is recalling. Coinflip, no. Alright, let's get the flip out of here, bro. Sivir, what are we staying for? We're staying because we want a very certain item that costs, like...
Tahm Kench?
It's not bad.
Really?
You're just going Redemption because, like, your Sivir's getting dull and you want to drop Redemption on her.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
You know, it still gives, like, Redemption is still giving him what does it give? It just gives like HP, ability haste, and the effect is really good. So it's like, it's not bad. It's good. I like it. I think the Hearthstone maybe was a little troll, but I think it's working out. It's not like that's not the break point or the reason we're losing any of these fights. But yeah, I mean, I like it. It's going to protect our Sivir a little bit more, keep us alive. But yeah. So once Sivir is here, this fight's going to be good. Oh, this Sivir 100% wanted the whole Bloodthirster, which I think costs like what 3,200 now, and she was just a few hundred gold short. She's so greedy. All right, Sivir is here now. Pardon me. We're clearing out the area. Be careful of Renekton and on the flanks he has here. We're checking flank wards for TPs. There are none, which means Aurora and Renekton, if they want to get on a crazy angle, they're gonna have to, put their big boots on, and they're gonna have to walk themselves. So. Dragon's coming up in 10 seconds. This midway is going to crash as it happens. But, both these teams desperately want this soul.
Coinflip's fighting off. This is probably the first time Coinflip's actually had position on an objective.
Well, who's the Keeper's Verdict going to hit on? It's Tahm Kench, which means Sivir is actually a lot more vulnerable than she originally looks. And she walks up! She walks up! Oh my god! It gets absolutely blown up. Ahri's not able to get the reset on her ultimate. She's just gonna have to play this super slow. And now Renekton's looking for a little bit more. Ahri is trying to do what she can with that Orb of Deception, but after the Tahm Kench is knocked away, Flash and Barrier are up. I wasn't looking when the actual kill happened, but certainly those both didn't come up right then. The Tahm Kench is knocked away. You're not safe anymore. Sivir gets obliterated, and I think that's gonna be like at least an inhib or two. Nope, we're chilling. Why end the game? Why end the game? We're so chill.
I felt like they could have gotten a lot more out of that.
They could have, but I think it kind of makes sense. They're not trying to overextend. They know once the Sivir is up, they're not gonna be able to like look for the end because she's just gonna wave clear. Maybe get an inhib and like a turret. I was thinking like inhib turret. But that being said, if you just reset, then walk out with Infernal Soul, you're super happy anyway. So yeah. Yeah. Questionable. I don't even hate the Tahm Kench walking up to kind of like tank the Keeper's Verdict. I don't know if he saw it over the wall. I don't even hate that, but it's like, yeah, we just can't be dying there. If Sivir doesn't die like that, then the game is super playable, and maybe we have Infernal Soul, and maybe we're ending the game right now. So, next objective. This Baron's up in a minute.
Oh, Fitz
We're looking for something pretty quickly. Leona's going to get knocked up by like 3 different things, so she's going to go down. This TP from Aurora is happening, but we're going to make a play right on it. Malphite still has ultimate. Double knockup. There we go. Insta-Zonia's Messiah moment.
Vic falls.
Is Sivir going to be able to survive in this fight? She does not get killed by the instant burst, but eventually she does. Triple kill goes in for Vi. Pardon me, I'm sick. So yeah, although Sivir dies, so does Aurora, so does Leona. We don't have Baron, so it's going to be kind of hard to look to... Oh, wait, I was going to say, I thought Renekton was up. Nope, I'm trolling. It's going to be pretty straightforward to end the game. We'll see who Keeper's Verdict lands on. It only lands on the cannon.
Oh, they're pushing for this.
Yeah, absolutely. Hairwiz going to end up getting taken out.
Mono.
Vi is grounded. Tristana, she knows that she's going to have to make a crazy play. She's going to make it happen, but Tahm Kench finally gets to use that ult well. Min turret's going to go down. That's going to be the game. Nobody's up for another... I mean, Leona's up in like 7 seconds, but we're not serious, right? Then it's like, you know, Renekton and Aurora, but that's gonna be it, right? Smart, yeah, okay, yeah. Perfect.
Yeah,
and that's gonna be game one. Going over to Coinflip. Great early game, questionable mid game, but hey, you know, sometimes you just gotta Coinflip it back into your control, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, what an insane game one here. Sign me up for 2 more of that.
So true.
Yeah, that was a cinema of a game. Let's see, we got the damage charts up here. Cool.
Cinema! It's cinema!
Man. We had everything we wanted in the back and forth game, 44 minute banger, pentakill in here. There's not much we could have asked. Jeez Louise. Now, if you're small brains, or if you're on small brains this size, Leshy, how do you come back after that one?
I mean, you still get moments in the game, like you inted early. I mean, the only difference, the only variation from that game of like what actually should have happened is you kind of trolled early on. Like the mid game, you came back and you used your champions as they were supposed to be. If you didn't, you know, if you weren't in such a hole earlier on, then you probably would have been fine because then you just would have accelerated even harder. You probably would have gotten that soul a little bit quicker, because you're not just giving away Dragon's Perma, right? Then you're forcing that Elder fight like 10 minutes earlier. When, if you remember, like 10 minutes before the end of that game, like we were just not strong on Coinflip side, and small brains were still running it all. So yeah, I mean, we kind of trolled a little bit in the early game. So, you know, we can say we'll clean that up, maybe play a little less greedy, but also an elimination match, best of 3, down 0-1. This is, you know, this is the fight for their life, so it's going to make sense if they're a little more nervous. And when you're nervous, a lot of times it's easier to kind of opt into kind of more scaling comps. So I would not be surprised if they ended up doing that. But yeah. Click it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one.
On TikTok by Kesha?
Yeah. Also, there's a chance that might flag as copyright.
Ah, who fucking cares, man? It's Twitch. Let's take it down. You don't get banned. Tonight I'm up night till I see the sunlight. Tick tock. I fuck with it. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens here in game two. If any of you are watching the stream, can someone move up? I gotta move down into spectator. This is tilting me. So yeah. Also shout out the CLG icon.
That's an old school one, right?
Yeah, I think that's season 3.
All right. We see Small Brains wants blue side here. I'd love to see Siver's win rate. It's probably pretty high. So let's go over here to game 2. Switch scenes. We have the draft up. Well, the good news is this season you don't have to ban whatever just kicked your ass because of Fearless.
I actually do not like Fearless that much. Like, you never adapt in draft anymore. You just kind of don't have as many champs to pick. Like, if each team only had like 3 bans or 2 bans, but those bans were also banned through the whole series, then that might change. But like, normally now bans just stay the same every single game, and because it's like, well, we still think the stuff we banned would have beat us, so why would we change that? You know, like phase 2 bans might change, but the first 3 are not changing. At least not like consistently or a lot. So
that's an interesting take. I can respect.
Like if you whine about like seeing Azir quirky every game, I agree. If you're watching like fucking like old Echo Fox Optic games in the past, where they would just go 50 minutes because both of those teams couldn't do shit. But like, if like you're watching World Finals and you're watching Chovy Corki versus Faker Azir and you're bored, like you're just iron. So yeah. But yeah, I think it just means there's a lot less adaptation in draft, and it's a lot more about like each draft is kind of its own little echo chamber instead of like a full series, which is fine.
Do you feel that way
yeah.
even at 5 games, where it feels like it promotes a lot more champion diversity? You think?
Well, I mean, it permits champion diversity, but you lose adapting, like draft.
Okay.
Draft doesn't really ever change. Like game to game, you lose some champs, but you're just losing which champs. Whatever champs are the strongest, you're picking first, and then after that, it's a normal draft. Like in old stuff, it's like, oh, it turns out that Faker's fucking Zed is the craziest thing in the world. We need to ban that now. Well, what ban are we dropping in order to do that? How does that change what we're doing? How do our picks change around that? So yeah, I mean, it makes draft a lot less thoughtful, but yeah, there's more champs, but like, what makes me excited watching League of Legends is not like, oh my god, of like a mid-tier players, like if I'm watching like Worlds or something. It's like, oh my god, game 5, now I get to watch a player's subpar Yorick. It's like, I don't give a fuck. So yeah. Draft has started, by the way.
Alrighty. And I think kind of as you called it, these are mainly the same bands.
Yeah, because like no matter whether you lose or win game 1, you're banning these champs for a reason. You don't want to play against this guy's Talia. You don't want to play against this guy's Elise. You don't want to play against this guy's Fizz. You don't want to play against the Silos. The Silos was the one that maybe was a little different because maybe you were banning that for a very specific pickup. But, you know, it didn't really work out that way. And yeah, strong champ. We're just picking Pantheon, right? It's a flex to 4 lanes because this champ is crazy. But it's kind of most seen like jungle or top.
Yeah. This champion's frustrating to draft against. Especially if you have players that can play like at least 3 out of the 4 lanes. Like I feel like Small Brains is one of those teams that can play it the 3 out of 4. I don't think, not that Zenma can't play it, but I don't think it's a pick that small brain
So
slot in the mid lane.
yeah, because it's a Gigaflex, you're just kind of picking OP slash what your people feel good on. So you're probably gonna pick here support AD, just get your bot lane locked down, something really strong that you like. Picking the Nautilus is good because Leona's off the table. Now they're gonna have to go like Rel or something if they want the engage really that badly. So getting the Nautilus in your pockets first is really good. And the Mel response mid bot flex, I like that as well. Keeping these flexies alive. As she's got some swagger to her, so that works pretty well.
Yeah, I'm a big Mel merchant, even though I don't think she's in the greatest state. Big B, this is game 2, my friend. Ooh, the Zaya here.
Is there any way we can just like put text on the screen that says like 1-0?
Yeah, I can modify the scene next round. I'll put some stuff on there.
Epic. At least for like in game. It doesn't even have to be like team names. I think there should be team names, but like just putting like a 1 next to the team that's 1 up 1-0, you know.
Yeah, we
Um
can modify it a little bit.
so yeah, you're just picking Mel Nautilus, a little bit of a flex. I feel like you really want to pick your AD so it's not pinched.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know if we would have pinched the Twitch, but to be fair, I'm not looking at the pools. Zaya Victor are pretty good here. Victor is big money swag. Very fun champ, very good champ. And Zaya, when you're looking at this Nautilus, you're like, yeah, well, I'll probably be able to pick Zaya into any lane against the Naut, and I'll be pretty fine. Um, Now the Twitch Naut bot side on the other side. Um, yeah, it's gonna be the exact same as last game. In terms of what Coinflip are looking to do, they're gonna save their top lane pick for R5. Although I was thinking maybe there's a world where you like try not to give up the flex, but I think that might be overcooking a little bit. So you're just gonna ban the really strong blind picks that you think Vic the Butcher is gonna pick up. And now I mean like Cassante, and Bessa, Renekton are kind of like the strong ones. After that, it does get a little more weak sidey. You Gragas, Ornn, stuff like that. So not super crazy, and that is
Oh,
going to be a Jungle Ivern all aboard the
uh,
Twitch train.
that could not be jungle. Coinflip has played at top this season.
Cool, and yeah, that's a flex, I guess.
He's like, I don't give a shit.
I mean, yeah, it's like the same thing either way. It's still you're like playing for the Twitch.
Agreed.
From like a team comp perspective. But yeah, I mean, I don't hate the Mundo. That's a big guy. It'll be kind of harder to shred him down, and that's what they're gonna go for. I'm still kind of interested to see where all this goes. That Mundo could still go jungle. This Pantheon is still flexing like 3 ways. But I mean, it's Blizzard. They're gonna have to pick here unless they're really saucing it up. But yeah, like even then, like some of these things, like the Pantheon Mundo, are still kind of flexing between each other, even though you really want them to do top. Maokai, we're still just giga flexing across everywhere. I mean, I think, I mean, it's into the Nautilus, so what it probably is it's probably Mundo top, unless they need to flip top jungle with Pantheon for matchup, and Maokai support into the Nautilus. This is all very straightforward. I also like Maokai here into the Twitch. Daisy is going to be really annoying this game. Just looking at her, she's going to be a hassle to deal with. But yeah, top lane getting locked in here, and you do kind of want something else that's able to start the fights with the Nautilus, and Meganar makes that happen as well. He can kind of be all chill against the Mundo and the side lanes, so pretty straightforward there. But yeah, I think a lot of these fights are going to revolve around obviously the Victor Zaya, right? But I'm going to be kind of curious to see how the early game for these ones go. I want to see where this Pantheon is going to end up pathing. There's always a world where, like, after seeing the Nard, your top laner is like, dude, no. On Pantheon, I can absolutely obliterate this guy. Like, he stands no chance. There's always a chance that happens, but I still think it's just going to go top. And you've got a lot of wave clear, and you can play with Mundo on the side lane. It's not like you have super crazy kind of global anything on red side. So your Mundo can be in the side lane pretty safe. And Zaya, Victor have pretty good wave clear. So I think this game will be pretty boring if blue side gets ahead.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think both ADs scale really well. I think Victor definitely does outscale the Mel quite a bit. I just don't know how many opportunities Maokai's going to be able to make onto the, or not Maokai, Nautilus, sorry, is going to be able to make onto the back line when you have Zyra and Bone. And even if you ult Victor, like, you're still getting through Mundo, Pantheon, Maokai. It's like, it's a really...
I mean, the Maokai's gonna be pretty squishy. The Pantheon's gonna be strong, but it's probably just gonna be a case where you're just like knocking him up. So yeah. I think it's not like super easy for the Nod, but I don't think it's hard. I think the hard part is the fact that it's like you're just never gonna access Saya, because obviously like, she has her ulti and all that. I'm kind of hyped to see how the Nard plays out because like first look at this and it's like, well, if he jumps onto the Zaya, she'll just ult, and the Maokai should be able to keep him away pretty straightforwardly. But Nar is Nar. He'll find a way. So yeah. It is looking like, at least if it's in champ phase, it is going to end up being the Maokai support, Mundo top, Pantheon jungle. I don't really know what Mel Victor looks like. I don't really know what Mel looks like. I don't pay enough attention to know what games look like, or like what. I don't see enough Mel in any of my games to have like an informed opinion of her. But I feel like she's probably stronger than Victor on like one or two items, and then he's stronger the later the game goes. The only kind of awkward part, if I'm small brains, if I'm this Pantheon, is like, what lane am I playing through? I feel like I'm kind of just playing. I'm just like, I'm the strongest one, and I'm just if none of my lanes int because I save them, then that's a good game for me. Which always feels a little bad if you're picking like this early game jungle. A lot of times you want to make stuff happen, but you can't really walk in and invade the Ivern. I don't feel like you really want to gank bot super hard. I guess you could find Twitch and then, get followed up. So it has to be bot because it's never going to be top. So yeah, I guess this Pantheon's probably going to start on top side and maybe look for a bot lane gank early on. Because this Twitch is probably going to be pretty vulnerable into early game. Especially considering you have a good matchup down there, I think.
Yeah. Though we've seen Coinflip have some creative early games. I'm kind of curious to see how creative they get with this level 1 if Ivern tries a 3 buff or split the map. That could really change a lot of Pantheon's pathing. I feel like Victor counters Mel. Mel doesn't... I don't really think Mel minds that lane early. But then, yeah, Victor...
Well, that's like... Yeah, that's
him.
the problem. Is like... If you're playing against Victor, like, he wants to just clear waves and farm up and get strong. So, like, if Mel doesn't mind the Victor early, but, like, that's it, then that's so good for Victor. Because like, if Mel is not threatening to kill him, especially, like, this mid-jungle duo, Mel, Ivern?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I guess, bro. So, yeah. As opposed to, like, Victor Pantheon, holy guacamole. So, yeah, this Pantheon could look mid pretty frequently, just depending on what the Mel look like.
We've seen a lot of Gnar coming out as kind of a pseudo check to answer to Dr. Mundo. What's your thoughts on this top lane matchup?
I think Gnar is playing more for the team fight, and Mundo is playing more to get side lane objectives with like demolish and stuff. Gnar is able to bully him pretty aggressive early, but eventually Mundo will Mundo. He's just kind of pushing back the clock, which I don't think is bad because eventually Twitch will Twitch as well. But Victor will Victor, and then eventually, who gives a fuck? So, it's all, and Zai, it's all, everyone's got scaling in this game. I still feel like Small Brains outscale Coinflip. I guess it's kind of, it's a heat check on how good Ivern is in terms of like the shielding for Twitch and how powerful, we're playing around this Twitch makes him. Because, this guy's just space gliding all over them. So be it, you're done. But if Twitch opens up on your backline, like, there's just no saving it. But yeah, I mean, I like it. Like, Gnar's going to bully him early on in the laning phase. It's going to be a little hard for Mundo to hit him with cleavers. Gnar's never going to, like... It's never going to be at a point where, like, some of these top lane matchups, it gets, like, 30 minutes into the game and one character just runs the other down and one of them's stuck under turret the whole game. I don't think it's either going to be that way. It's never going to be that way. But I like the Mundo side, but that's just because I like playing Mundo more. So, yeah. It's all kind of contingent on if Nar can, because if Nar can't find something in team fights, then I like the Mundo side because Mundo's just taking objectives. But if Nar is finding 17 fights, then like, well, what are you? Okay, sure, right. But I mean, I like the Mundo side a little more, but Meganar is still gonna throw some bitches into a wall. Know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It's just gonna be hard to throw a Zaya into a wall. It's gonna be hard to throw a Victor into a wall. It's gonna be hard to get past Maokai. He's gonna kind of have to just find some creative angles in, which I think he can. He definitely last game. He was definitely not he was not playing like a bitch. That's for sure. He went for like too many good plays or too many plays, and they would end up good because small brains would play the stuff a little poorly. But yeah. I think Small Brain's comp is going to be a lot easier to execute. They don't have a timer on their heads. They have good wave clear. They have good CC. They have a good mid jungle pairing. Their bot lane matchup is pretty decent. When the Maokai into the Nautilus. The Mundo is kind of chilling top lane. So if we're looking at it just, all across the board, the right team kind of looks like one of the better solo queue comps that you'd have. And the left team looks like I'm watching LCK. So if I had to pick one team here, just based off of comp, it's going to be Small Brains. But that being said, and I was also saying, like, you know what? After you lose game one, a lot of times in these games, you're just going to be all about the scaling because you don't want to be nervous to make plays while also playing a comp that has to make plays. So, yeah.
What's your timer at?
30 seconds.
37.
I'm at like 45 seconds.
Pause for a sec. 41,
Where?
42, 43,
Okay.
44, 45, 46, 47,
47, 48. Hour in time.
9. There we go. Thank
2,
you.
3. Yeah. They just be fucking typing, bro.
Yeah.
Minions have spawned.
What is directed camera showing me here, dude? It's just looking at this fucking Maokai. Like, I do not care.
Directed camera sometimes has a mind of its own.
Yeah, it's always like where it needs to be, but it's a robot still. It's not a human. Yeah. Nothing compared to the LCS Observer goats.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. Dude, how frisky is this Twitch feeling? Oh, a little too frisky.
He plays on a team called Coinflip. I'm gonna guess pretty frisky.
Yeah. All right. So here, let's talk about the vision that was established early on. The main thing we got to highlight here is if we're looking, Pantheon is not going to be able to, or is going to be spotted if he looks to invade the Ivern probably on that ward around above mid lane and river. And Pantheon, once he's on his Raptors, will be tracked. So, or sorry, that's only if Pantheon goes for the red. I guess you can still go for the Raptors. So Pantheon's going to be tracked here pretty soon. Ivern is playing up towards his top side, and Pantheon is playing down towards his bot side. We did say Pantheon probably is going to look to make a play on the spot side. This is not that crazy.
Nice sidestep from Zema there in that trade.
Yeah. And it's going to happen. Oh, Pantheon Savant! He's walking past his Raptors. Savant, bro. He's a knower. And they just lost Raptor Vision. The GOAT. Holy fuck. I mean, you still know that he didn't start bot side really, but that's so poggers. So yeah. And now they're also going to know that Pantheon's on bottom. As soon as Ivern peeks into his jungle here, they know Pantheon's on bot side now. Just in time to avoid this gank. Right? Nautilus is in a little bit of trouble here, Pantheon and Maokai, but they know they've got their eyes on the prize, but they lose vision of Twitch. They're a little split here. Twitch pops the barrier, but Pantheon's going to get chunked. Monogatari is the only one kind of standing up.
Yeah, Maokai tanking 2 turret shots instead of 1.
I mean, yeah, you take the turret shots, and like also when Twitch went camo, they went all in on that Nautilus, and then Twitch left camo, and they were still split, and Panth then like started hitting the other guy. So also Panther is way too low to contest this type of play ever. He's not even able to take his own jungle camps. He's 1 HP. He's gonna die to the Krugs if they not. Okay, they barely drop aggro. Now he's here. Literally a tick of anything. A Nautilus E will kill him. Really, really awkward play from Hairwiz. Makes this whole thing kind of spiral out of control. GeoPro, flash hook. If he just has to wait out the auto and the E. Oh! Pantheon kind of got the footwork. GeoPro with the ego. And I'm thinking the Pantheon was going to be able to E that well. And he gets cooked.
Well played by Hairwiz.
And that ends up making a play that was like so insanely good for them. Not that bad. Yeah, this is just top lane. They're going to flash. So yeah, no, that ends up making a play that for Hairwiz was so bad he couldn't even take his Krugs. He like really has to reset so that he can get more gold in this bucket. Now he's like fucked because he has to stay out on map, and clear these camps up back towards top side. So a play that was going to be absolutely egregious for Pantheon ends up being like fine because he gets the kills. Pretty good. Pantheon's just kind of waiting here in the wings. Just don't want to take his camps. And he's going to get what he wants. Mel is going to be stunned up by the gravity well. In comes Pantheon as well. Maokai's going to follow up with a twisting advance. Who's the kill going to go to? And it's going to be Pantheon. He's going to pick that up. Zima's a little too low. Let's not do that to Zima. No one's going to help him shove in the wave, though. Poor Zima. He's just going to let it stack against each other. He's probably going to take 1 minion and then reset. Ooh, he's greedy. Little guy's greedy. No, he's going to let him freeze though. Or in the middle. So yeah. Great play. Got the kill on Mo. Another kill on Pantheon. He's feeling strong. He's going to be able to go for some stuff now. He's going to be able to carry some early fights.
Yeah. Much better early game coming out of Small Brains. I feel like Fid6 had a really clutch roam there to set that up as well. So
yeah, it was a good room from him.
He's always been known to just drop everything by
this has kind of been the game of like weird non-flashes. There's that non-flash from Sivir. Mel didn't look to continue the fight and get the execute, and she also didn't look to just flash out. She could have done either. So this kind of looks a little weird. Level 5 comes through for Twitch, so he's feeling it.
Yep.
And Maokai, a little bit abandoned Monogatari there.
Oh,
not going to get the snare off. Burn's going to take her down. Zima has to flash out of a play mid lane and across the map. Things are just going well. Zima gets taken down by that final golden eclipse, bro.
Got just enough stacks from multiple hits on the Q to get him into R range.
Yeah.
Well played there by Creeper.
I mean, if they're absolute psychos, but I don't think they are. I don't think they got that dog. I think they're giving it. Yeah, they're giving it. They're just gonna get this way though. So yeah, I mean, suddenly a game that was looking really, really good for. Pardon me. A game that was looking really, really good for Small Brain. Suddenly kind of flips the other way. Mel ends up getting a good play, and on bot lane they just. I mean, that was just. Twitch and not just outplayed that Xayah. Maokai was not playing to peel her ass at all. He was worried about his life only, so got out of there. Yeah, that's the whole sentence. Maokai kind of trying to bait another engage here by staying out of vision, but it just doesn't work. So he says, oh, fuck this. I'm coming back into XP range. Now, Daisy is active soon, and Ivern is here. He's not on vision. Hook lands on a Maokai. Only way for him to twisting advance is in unless Ivern gives him an out. Oh, Daisy was not here at all. Not needed, though. Maokai will end up going down. Another kill onto the Twitch, dude. That's scary. I want to see if this Pantheon ends up getting these grubs. I guess he will. Ivern needs to clear his camps. But not all bad if he does end up getting this grubs. That's going to feel really good for the Mundo, because obviously, you know, Mundo playing to push, as everyone keeps reminding me. So having those grubs is going to make it a lot easier for him. Victor. He's looking. Oh, he must have seen this guy kind of low, but the advance from hair width. Oh my god. Oh my god, just flashing over. Just fuck this Brandino guy. We're balling Zima. Zima doesn't look for it. What? And we don't finish grubs. What's going on?
We got 2 that have already got stacked, but yeah, you should get the 3rd here.
The only thing we can do now is just finish the grubs, and we've sent the entire kitchen sink up top lane. We were gonna get the grubs anyway. Oh, that's fine. So yeah, we're just gonna go back to the noise. Sai has to back. She's been in a tough situation, especially with Maokai heading up topside there. She's down a shit ton of CS. Oh, Wick the Butcher is gonna go kind of sauce mode here. Because also here's the twisting advance. Maokai is gonna Q away. The Nar is burning. All it's gonna take is and the flash odds. The auto was already coming through. Oh my god. I wish I could say that there was just kind of like, one team playing well this game, but both teams are just kind of being a little silly goofy. Finally, that Fitsick roam worked out. Now, I don't know if it's worth... You're getting a lot of gold on the Mundo here, and I think you're committing pretty hard now to just saying we're going to scale up, like, forever, and let Mundo just win the game through side. Yeah, it's just fine. Wait, why are we melee? Why are we melee with Daisy? What is going on? Saya has to force out the ulti. Twitch is going to walk forward and ulti her. Is the poison going to be enough to take her down? She barrier. And she'll walk away alive. I'm just in awe. I'm like absolutely stunned.
Had to blow 2 summoners because he tried to brawl day. Oh, nice hook from Geo.
Look at him, Maokai. He's probably going to be finding us the twisting advance. He has the smash. He's going in though. Pantheon wants this shit. If he has Mortal Will, he can definitely execute somebody with a QW or just a Q. Or just doesn't? Yeah. Okay. The game of all time. So, now, Saya is down 50 CS. It'll be like 40 when she picks up this wave. But we have roamed all game to try and make stuff happen. Sometimes we just didn't need the roam. Sometimes the stuff that happened just wasn't worth it. This is hella awkward. Our Victor's down as well. We're kind of putting all of our eggs in the mid game into this Mundo basket, hoping that him clearing side waves will just be enough, or threading side lanes will be enough for us during this game to hang in there long enough for our Victor and Zaya to come online and be able to just shred these people. But I don't know if that's necessarily the right call. It feels a little silly, it feels a little goofy, it feels a little awkward. The triple giant spell, that's fucking Giga Chad. This is, by the way, the best skin in the game, this Mundo skin.
Yeah. Definitely his best skin. I would have to...
Best skin in the game.
It's... Oh,
we got to play here. Ivern is going to get one shot, by the way. Yep. Hairwiz picks up the kill. It can go longer, though. We've got Monogatari and Fidstick here in the play. Mel's at a bit of an awkward spot. She has flash, and she uses it to get out. Does that mean dragon? Looks like it means dragon. Awesome. Cool. Swag. Oh my god. Krieger. Just kind of getting sauced on. Oh, if that hook landed, they'd be in an awkward spot. Now this Maokai and Pantheon need to walk out together. Victor is completely separated from the play. You kind of just have to abandon the Pantheon and leave. Just abandon the Pantheon and leave. This fight is not winning. This fight is not winning. Fitzik is in trouble too. Zemo puts down the gravity well. It's going to stun 2 people. Now Maokai uses that twisting advance. Huge E rip through. Monogatari thinks they see an angle, but I'm not sure what angle that was. As Monogatari is going to end up being chunked down here. Pardon me. Chunked down here under tower. And yeah, they got the dragon, but they lose 3 people. They just needed to get out. That is brutal. Huge. More gold onto the side of Coinflip.
Yeah, what a big catch there, and just overall, just a big fight. This Mel, even though she's kind of been bullied around a little bit in mid lane, picked up 3 kills and still just finds a way to stay relevant.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Yeah, Mono definitely having a hard time in the CS department this game. Hook here coming from GeoProw, but just saying hi.
Yeah.
See what these triple giants builds ends up turning into. I assume it's Warmogs. I don't think this is a great Heartsteel game. What do you think?
I think Heartsteel's fine. I think you can. I think you get Warmogs, but I don't think Heartsteel is bad. Just giving you more threat on the Gnar. Yeah, you just get Warmogs.
Could go Warmogs in the Heartsteel.
Yeah, he could pick it up second. So yeah. Wherever this Twitch is kind of... We're getting to the point where wherever the Twitch is where the action's going to be in this game. Oh, he's spotted out by the Maokai. He pops out. Does a fancy little number on him. And then heads back. He's going to head back down bot to pick up that wave. I think you might as well just put this guy mid. Just put him mid. Stop dealing with all this nonsense. Vic the Butcher and Matthias are fighting Vic thrown into the wall. Pantheon's here, though. Matthias, yet again, Hairwiz has flash. He's going to flash over the wall and look for the W 100%. And there it is. Boom. You're done, buddy. And that's going to be the first turret, which is huge. It means that Mundo now is able to threaten so much more in this side lane. You kind of want both those tier 1s down, because then, once Mundo starts touching the tier 2s, shit gets risky.
Yeah. And I forget who grabbed Feats of Combat. I think it was Coinflip, wasn't it? Yeah, they had a couple early kills. So, it comes down to objective feats yet again. Those small brains does have 2.
Dude, Coinflip is losing so much. Like, they get that turret, but it's all shared. Their top lane, he's going to lose like half his HP to Mundo with grabs here. Herald, they're also going to get Herald, so they're going to be able to pile drive down this mid or bot turret. Mundo's going to have perma pressure whatever side lane he wants. This is absolutely crazy. That being said, Coinflip are still pretty handily in the lead right now. Like, I know it's even only like 700 gold on the scoreboard. They feel a lot better than that, especially if Pantheon isn't going for a good play. Zema is getting slowed up. Maokai is here to stop some damage, but it's not going to be enough. Guess who's thrown into the fire, though? Is Aristolian, who's autoing the Raptor, is going to sit in the Victor ult. He does not care. Maokai thing is coming through. Redemption, give him enough HP. Ignite onto a Pantheon. Pantheon is going to have Mortal Will here, right, dude? Right? Yeah, he has Mortal Will now. Aristotelian ends up picking up the kill. Now what's going to happen with this Mundo? He's got ulti. He's literally not worried at all. Gnar does not have Mega Gnar. Just press... Bro, we know you got it. We know you're going to press the button. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
this is a little goofy. He's making the play last super long. He's got Zema TPing in. Here's the Rift Herald crashing mid. Hairwiz super low. Aristotelian. This guy's kind of greedy. He's going to go for it. We'll see. As mid turret's going to fall, Monogatari is looking for Aristotelian with the instant pull, and Twitch is going to go down back on the top side. Victor is in trouble. Brandino is getting chunked down. Zema wants more and more, but the shield is going to be enough to make sure nobody dies, and the explosion ends up taking down somebody. Nick the Butcher is going to die to Mel. And yet again, just kind of cross them out. All sorts of silly goofiness is happening permanently. That being said, getting some gold in a Monogatari's pocket. I think Twitch had a shutdown. Picking up that shutdown on Twitch must feel pretty good. So yeah, any way to kind of transition some of this gold into your mid bot feels good, but it's we're in a little bit of a goofy situation right now, if I had to guess.
Yeah, looking overall though, we still see Coinflip has about a 1,500 gold lead, so not as big of a lead as I thought it would be. But overall, I feel like they're in a really good spot here. Krieger almost to his Shadow Flame. But Coinflip starting up this third dragon to be the second.
They're going to get it. Let's look at the lane assignments here for a second. So, top tier 2 is really low. But Mundo doesn't give a fuck, because he wants this bot lane unlocked. Whenever you're taking down tier 1 turrets, the important thing is you're not just taking down one, but you're taking down, like, 2. You want mid lane turret and another, because once you take down that top lane turret, that gives you a little bit of pressure, but not that much. But here, once you've seen mid and top are taken, look at how much more control blue side is going to be able to get into that top side jungle, how much more comfortable it's going to be for Victor to be able to walk up there and clear these waves, which is so far what's happening. Mundo wants this like bot turret. So he's opening down there. Monogatari gonna get chunked down quite a bit. The expunge gonna be used here. Fidstick though, popping the locket. The burn is not gonna be enough to take him down. This extra powerful sapling, funnily enough, boosted up by the Iron, is gonna be fine. We're walking up somehow, somewhy. In comes Hairless.
Big redemption.
Looking for a little bit more. He's getting chunked down. He's gonna be taken down. Geopro ends up getting the kill, I believe, with that ignite. Yeah, and we're walking up. What is going on, dude? They are so confident right now. The ult from Monogatari. Brandino's taken down. Huge E coming out. Feather Call from Monogatari. Ends up my instincts get. Monogatari's gonna die to the.
Oh, Wyvern barrier there.
Down. Hit him with the spell wake. And that's exactly what happens. Well, there we go. I guess more action, more people dying. God bless America. God bless League of Legends. Nar took top turret off that because Victor shifted down for the fight to save it. Mundo is finally going to be able to touch this bot turret. Took him long enough. Mel has been able to clear these waves pretty effectively. She's about to Q it again, and she'll be fine. So that turret's going to be fine for a while. Nar's headed up top, which means looks like they're going to have Mel go back down to match Mundo. I think he should be able to get this turret, though, off of this, because he stayed.
Wait, do we not go Serpent's Fang second here on Panth? Into Ivern?
Second is a little aggressive.
I mean, Ivern's accelerated now. I think you have to.
I think you'd be throwing the game if you did that.
Really?
Yeah, pretty hard. Your strong member is Pantheon, and you're wasting a bunch of money to, like, work around this, like, just normal ass enchanter. I feel like that's a little much. So yeah. Now it's kind of Mundo's turn, I think, to play on him. That being said, like, let's look at the objective timers. That's always kind of how you know, theoretically at least in this series, it's been whack as fuck, but theoretically when and where the fights are going to happen. Oh, well, there's one happening right now. Maokai is getting cut down by Mel, but Vic the Butcher's on the flank. Pantheon is in on Krieger. Krieger's going to live a little while longer. Huge redemption. Krieger's going to live just long enough to take down Fidsick. Victor TPs, but he's a little far away from the fight. Watch the Meganar. Meganar has to double bounce out, though. Huge feather call, but Monogatari is stuck in the corner, and Twitch is open, firing on everybody. He's completely untouched. Pantheon goes into the pit. The Q is going to fly, but Victor is the one who ends up killing Twitch. And honestly, dude, if Pantheon was in this fight, I think this would be huge and so winning for Small Brain.
The Pantheon ult was a little interesting.
Yeah, shorten that, int. So, yeah, now, like, he's going to kill the Daisy here with this. She's going to get taken down. Neither team can go for this Otacon. That was fucking crazy, bro. Huge play by Twitch, completely controlling the area. Clearly that Pantheon channeled it when Twitch was over the wall in the Dragon's Pit. That's what he saw.
Could have been, yeah.
Oh, Mel's gonna get... No, not even chunked. Here's Maokai, though. If she does not one-shot Victor... Oh my god,
there's no way she one-shots Victor.
She's hooked. And she flashes after the Twisted Advance. And, yeah, there we go.
Wait, she can't one-shot Victor without ult anyway. That was interesting.
I mean, like, look at his HP right now. Imagine if she actually hit, like... She missed 2 of 3 spells. Imagine if she actually...
Yeah, he's got bone plating up. There's no way. I don't think so.
Okay.
Not without ult, in my opinion.
Okay. So now we're all fighting here on Otacon. Something to keep track of. Nice take on bot turret. Something to keep track of. Zaya is mid right now. Victor's walking to the fight, so we're not quite full power just yet. TPs? No. We don't have them. So Mundo is just going to die, and this is going to turn into an Otacon. Zaya's going to try and trade it for mid-tier 2. So yeah. That's a whole sentence. She's going to trade for mid-tier 2. Unless Mel gets here quick enough. Dude, Fidsick is just going freak mode. For a second I thought it was Jungle Maokai, because, you know, why is Maokai sending here? But we're looking for an extended play here. It's just Victor, though. Pantheon doesn't have his ult yet. He's going to have to walk there a little slower. Zema now is in trouble. He's getting slowed. Nautilus is here. He's going to actually be able to find a lot of damage onto this Maokai, but it's not going to be enough. The Storm might end up killing the Maokai, and it does, and it grows a little bit, but it's just going to sit right there in that choke. Now Zaya's still clearing mid-wave. If they want to fight this dragon, she needs to shift down, but I don't think they're strong enough, especially without Mundo TP. That being said, it's also really awkward for Coinflip to sit there for that long, especially with possibly giving up mid-tier 2. So they're also going to peel back off the dragon. No way. We're not going to walk in and start it, are we? Oh my lord. Now Small Brain is on the dragon.
Yeah, I think they can afford to, though, jungler up.
Yeah. No. They have this. It's just a crazy sequence of events. And then Twitch, if he grieves for this mid-turret, he's going to die. Now he saw Dragon singing. He knows. He knows he's out of there.
Do you see the Heartsteel's already done? Came out from Mundo here, so those 3 Giants belts, we see what they were used for. Now it looks like we're seeing Serpent's Fang coming out of Pantheon here.
Yeah. You gotta shred that. Even the Locket, I'm sure, is getting annoying at this point in the game. That Locket Redemption combo is just so fucking annoying to play against, dude.
Mm-hmm. I think once this Twitch hits third item, IE, then this game's going to start to really open up here. Because it feels like they just have a hard time.
It hasn't already, bro? Or we're at 32 kills. 25 minutes.
Well, I just mean like it's just impossible already for them to catch on the Twitch. But there's still a chance with the front line that they're building. That they can like move the front line up with Victor Mundo. Now if this Twitch gets IE, like he's going to start to really hurt the back line with the bolts.
A lot of these fights are still going to be like, Xayah should be pretty elusive, especially with Maokai protecting her. So should Victor. They should just be able to clear waves really easily, and they should be able to not give up Baron control. And they should just be able to kind of maintain presence there pretty easily. And what you want is on the side lane, you want this Mundo really developing a side lane presence and threatening this mid-tier 2 to force an awkward situation. Because Gnar has to match him, and, Gnar is better with the team fight. So that's kind of what you're looking for here. Pantheon is going to be caught out here. Hook lands. He eased the wrong way for the Twitch damage. Hairwiz gets taken down. And guess who's still up is this Twitch damage. He's stuck on the gravity well, but it's not going to be enough, especially with that Locket and that Redemption. Twitch is A-OK. So much shielding coming through for him. And that's 2 members, and that's a green light for for Baron.
That's Zenma unloaded,
and though. Mundo's not able to do anything. Actually, if Gnar decides to all-in him, Mundo, I think, is unable to do something if he pops the ult. That was a little late.
Ooh.
Yeah. He needed a lot more HP from that. So yeah, they poured a lot of their resources into getting this Mundo into a good spot so that he could play well in side lane, and now he's getting solo killed. So this feels really, 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 really awkward for Small Brain No Mechanics.
See Xayah finished 2nd item, so she's going to be able to pump out a lot more damage in this team fight. She's been kind of on the Walmart shopping spree.
Yeah, I don't know what. It's been a while since I played Xayah. I don't think I've ever seen Essence Reaver IE.
Oh,
and she gets hooked. She has to use the Feather Storm to get out. Ends up calling those back to get a nice little root situation going. Twitch is not touched, though. Redemption, everyone's back to full HP. Mel's firing some damage over the wall, but Vic the Butcher is here, maybe looking for something. Ivern's not going to end up being stuck in that gravity well. Gnar on the side is going to get the turret. This is looking like a 2-0 quick CLT.
Yeah, it seems like after this Baron, there's not much Small Brains can do to combat this push here.
That's just top laners being top laners. He's not hooked something huge. Finding targets
Twitch opening up.
Should not. Yeah, that is going to be that's going to be this tower. If not, this exact instant and a little bit slowly with this siege minion. We don't need to rush this. Victor's not going to be able to kill that siege minion. unless we all abandon it. In which case, he will then be able to kill the siege minion. But we're gonna get the bot turret, so that works too. There we go. Eventually, they just get it anyway. Lit. 2 open inhibs. Dragon is coming up in 10 seconds. It's right now. If you are blue side here, small brain, no mechanics. Shit still feels whack. You still feel like you can't really take these fights because you can't. Nars are going to push this. I think this will be a little awkward because Nars TPing out here, but then after this dragon, I feel like his entire team is going to recall. So the only play for small brain no mechanics is going to be on. Well, here we go. They're just going to clear up top lane and Mundo spot. This feels so bad on the Mundo side. So many resources given to you, and you've not been able to touch this bot tier 2 the entire time. So, yeah. I mean, if you are blue side here, really, you need to get some of that stealing gold on the map. Oh, Maokai walked up for this cannon, and he's greeting a little bit. He's gonna walk away, but he's gonna have to burn the flash. That is absolutely huge, all just so he could get that cannon minion. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this feels bad. You kind of might want to target some of this standing gold. Low key. I feel like there earlier you probably should have just put the Victor bot and the Mundo top and tried to take that top tier 2, open that up. That's like a demolish proc away from dying. But, you know, whatever. Pick the Butcher. Just, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. He's just getting absolutely shredded. Because this Gnar is just so far ahead of him. Gnar's gonna get Mega here, too. Yeah, he's got stairs. He's so fucking chill, dude. Mundo ulted. Eventually he'll be full HP again and it'll be favoring him. Just because the way that stupid-ass champ works. But is it long enough? Here we go. Iron's in a little bit of trouble. Gets knocked out of the gravity one. Pantheon's on the back line. He is being all chill. Nautilus manages to flash out and survive. This Chaos Storm does not get the resets. It does not grow in size. And that is Maokai ult, Saya ult, Victor ult, and Mundo ult all down. Pantheon ult's coming right back up. But all of that for nothing. As mid turret is going to get chunked down just a little bit more. Pardon me, bit inhibitor. It's going to keep getting lower and just being pulled across the map. Oh, these Sheen procs are making this so easy for Gnar. Gnar is going to take the bot. It's just going to keep going out of control. Really well disciplined play so far from Coinflip. Gnar has Mega Gnar. He has Flash. He's looking on this backline. He's going to shove some people in. Zima out of position just for a few seconds. His chunk even lower. Has to Zonia's, but he's eventually going to fall right here to a MLQ. And mid inhib goes down. They've got a bot wave to play around. Mid wave 2, cannon minions coming into the base. And that is going to be it. 2-0 for Coinflip. Small brain, no mechanics. Exit out of the first round and will advance into round 2 to play against the first seed.
And that's all 3 teams from Group A still alive as well here in the playoff bracket.
Crazy sick-ass group.
It was a very...
Group B is fraud group. That's true. So yeah, I feel like that game was... If you're looking at it on paper, and if this game doesn't evolve, you know, eventually your Victor Zaya is going to feel really good. Your Mundo is going to be huge. You know, you've got this kind of nice, like the Maokai feels kind of good too here as well. But yet again, these games just evolved into absolute shenanigans. There was no time for blue side to stabilize. They just started throwing everything up top lane towards this Mundo, who by the end of the game was getting solo killed. So, feels rough, bro.
And we got Mr. Brandino.
Hello there.
Coinflip.
Good evening, everyone.
How you feeling after that 2-0?
Oh man, dude, game 1 had me sweating so hard. Game 1, I was actually like, holy crap, this is crazy. I felt like we had our early game locked up in game 1, and so I felt like our scaling would be great, and then we just had like so many fights that went like awry, or like they just had extremely good flanks, and like the Renekton was just pumping out damage. Game 1 had me sweating. Game 2 was like, I don't know, it felt like it was really hard for them to find angles with what they were looking for, because they played to top side and Mundo's in a counter matchup, so it's kind of hard. We played the bot side, which is very easy for us to play through. So I'm very happy about the win, but they had me sweating. GG's.
Mm-hmm. What I think the one thing that stood out, like we talked about, the one thing I was really gonna look at was the mid jungle with you and Krieger, but it seems like your bot lane really came to make some plays. Geoproud not really being allowed to play some of his wacky like offensive picks, but bringing out Nautilus, bringing out Tom Kench here, getting a couple 2v2 kills in the bot lane. What was your thoughts going through that? Seeing your bot lane kind of popping off in lane.
Well, I'm very happy when I hear callouts in my team chat that are like, "Hey, we go for this the whole way," and so then I just like kind of pan bot and I'm seeing like, "Oh, they're just getting a solo." Like our game plan is like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna do that thing." Bot lane, you stay cool, or bot lane, you get you go all in when I'm ready. But they were just like, "Oh, well, we're just gonna take a kill here that we get." It's like, okay, I'm not gonna complain about a kill.
Fair, fair, and let me pull up the bracket real quick to see who you guys get in round 2.
It's BJB, Bucket John
Buckets.
bets.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Oh, we got
It's time.
yeah. What's your thoughts going into this round 2 matchup versus Bucket Johns?
I've been all focused on my group and all focused on small brains, and I don't know anything about Bucket John, so I'll be a very educated man in about 1 week. So right now, Bucket John, all I know is that you have MVP performance and a lot of respect. So I have to respect you and say, no, we're not going to smash until I've learned about how I'm going to smash. And then at that point, I can say we're going to smash.
Fair enough. Any response to that there, Lesher?
No, I know about as much about BJB as he does.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So,
Uh,
what have you been kind of? Was this Ivern ever going top lane in game 2?
yeah, absolutely. If the spot's right, the good news for that was that like it's shown that our top laner can play it. I think we had like some fun set of events in the first week where we played it, and we haven't really had to pull it out since. But yeah, I do play a jungle. It may even be seen in other positions. Stay tuned.
Oh.
But yeah, no, it was a flex pick that we had. If the matchup's right, we're taking it. But if the matchup's not right, it's just going in the jungle, and there's no problem with that. So when they picked Mundo, we were just like, all right, this is a good spot for us to counter pick. They might have bet on the fact that it's Ivern top and Mundo's a good counter, but nope.
Well, fair enough then, my friend. Well, congrats on the 2-0. Lesha, did you have any questions or anything?
Nope.
Fair enough.
Alrighty, GG's to
Alrighty.
Small Brain No Mechanics. Very, very good fighting. I appreciated the coin flips from both sides on that. Honorary coin flippers.
Yeah,
See you next week.
Yep. Have a good one, man.
Thanks, guys.
So, all right, man. Well, I appreciate you joining in the cast, man. I really love the insight.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
So, excited to see you guys versus Coinflip next week. So, you got anything
Yeah,
else?
me too. No, not really. Good games.
All right, man. Well, we're then going to sign off as Coinflip ends up 2-0ing Small Brains there in round 1 of the playoffs. And they get Bucket John bets here next weekend, so we'll see you guys then.
Bye.
Deuces.